how do you go from building a toy to something that's actually useful? What I do is I will work in Claude first, in normal Claude, not in Claude Code. Let's pull up Claude. And what do we want to build? I've got a list of things, but I'm blanking out what I want to build. And let me see if there's any suggestions in chat. Google AI Studio is like a sleeper. Nobody uses it. Google have got too many apps. It's on server side. Is there a problem with coding complex business and data layer logic? Yes, but that's further down the line. I would take the skeleton and change the program myself. AI messes up in the long run. Increasingly, it doesn't mess up in the long run. But yeah, you can 100% work with it from there. So I want to make an app. Claude knows a lot about my business. So I want to make a micro app for my customers. One page, basic tool. Give me some ideas. So I'm just going to cheat. Claude already knows about my business because of the memory. So I'm going to ask, what could I make? Here's some ideas. Lead magnet, free tools, an AI readiness score. AI tool matcher. What should I automate first? Love that. Okay, we're doing that one. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on this what should I automate first prioritizer. Love this. Ask me questions or clarifying questions about this tool so that you can prepare a build plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with my AI. You can work with ChatGPT, you can work with Claude, Gemini, it doesn't really matter. But you're going to work outside of your vibe coding tool to work out what the plan is. You can also do this inside the vibe coding tool. The problem with doing inside a vibe coding tool is that very often that tool will want to just start building. So it will help you planning, but it will also be like, okay, let's go. Instead, we're going to spend more time outside of the tool, planning, working out what it looks like. Then we take that full plan over to, in our case, Google Studio Build. So we go, great pick. Here's what we need to nail before building. How many tasks? What are we building again? Oh, what should I automate first? And we will go through all of these. For speed, I'm going to turn on voice mode. I'm going to be building this inside of Google AI Studio. So we're not going to use the Claude API. We're going to use Gemini. I'd actually like for it to help them uncover those tasks. So they're not necessarily going to know what tasks they should automate. That's the whole point of the tool. So it's going to ask them about their day. I think it should step back from asking them specific tasks and instead ask them about how they spend their time during the day and then drill down from there onto the tasks that they could automate. In terms of, you said, what should they rate each task on? Time spent per week, how simple and repetitive? Yes, those two are good. And how much do you hate doing it? I think that is good. So we're aiming for things that take a lot of time, are very algorithmic, they're repetitive, and that the user hates doing. I would like as a matrix chart first and foremost, although you probably need to do it in 2 dimensions rather than 3. Also do it as a rank list underneath. And for the API, use the Gemini API because we're building in Google Studio Build, as I said. Email capture gate and call to action, newsletter sign up, point to aiwithkyle.com/join. Do you have any brand colors? Yeah, use simple white background and purple highlights. Get the information from aiwithkyle.com if you want. Is this going to live as a standalone page? Yes, it will live as a standalone page, but for now I just want to create a demo version in Google Studio Build. So I'm planning using my voice. I got it to ask me clarifying questions. If you're building something complex, spend more time on the planning procedure than you do on building that first draft. This is going to allow us to create a plan that our vibe coding tool can then work through by piece. And I'm just going to paste that plan over. Let's see if that's gone ahead and done it. So automation, what happened there? Something just disappeared. Thankfully I had it copied. So let's do that. That seems to be a Claude error. Claude has been a bit temperamental this week. So what should I automate first? Prioritize a build plan. Platform, Google AI Studio Build. The tool doesn't assume users know what to automate. It starts broad, asking them how they spend their day, then uses Gemini to extract and surface the tasks worth automating. And it's going to be in 3 stages. So discovery, which would be conversational, rating and result. And then it's got the brand information. So this is very basic, but it's a start. So I'm going to take this, take it over to build mode, drop it into build mode and press build. Done. So that is an example of how we move on from just chatting to the vibe coding tool and instead give it an actual project plan. This is very basic, but this will help us to scaffold the larger project. As you build larger projects that are more complex, what you are going to increasingly do is break down the project into little modules, into smaller pieces, and then you will have your vibe coding tool attack those one at a time. So you won't try to one-shot it, but instead you will be going to the vibe coding tool and say, hey, this is the overall plan. So you have a big picture of it. It consists of these 5 different functions. And we're going to build each of these one by one, connect them all up and make sure everything is working. But you only need to do that if you are dealing with a more complicated project. So that is now going to go ahead and do the build